Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another Peninsula campaign battle for you here today, another historical battle as we're checking out these lovely Laguerre uniforms there. I really like the trumpeter here in his green. He looks very, very nice here, the 21st Laguerre Tsar. But yes, this is the Battle of Porto. This is the first Battle of Porto. There's two historically, one which features the British and one which doesn't. And in today's, we do not have the British here today. This is the first Battle of Porto, set in 1809 in March. And yeah, this is when Soult is marching on the city of Porto, probably the second city of Portugal, really. Behind Lisbon in importance and sort of significance. And yeah, this is a battle that's fought outside the city of Porto, which is over here, Port City itself, hence the name. Here is the ships here, sort of docking in it, and then this is supposed to be the city of Porto with a bit of earthworks here, which they did have some defences defending it, but it did not matter, even though the Portuguese vastly outnumbered Soult in this one. They had around about 30,000 troops to Soult's 16,000. They were mainly made up of militia and irregular troops, which did not do well against the Peninsula veterans of Soult's army. And we already have a bit of clashes. There's some hussars taking on, looks like some light cav. And yeah, as you can see there already, it looks as though the French are going to have a small victory, taking up that light cavalry unit there. But yeah, in this one, Soult managed to absolutely wipe out the Portuguese army. He's actually got a little Chasseur Hanover in here, in amongst the Portuguese. Sorry, they're trying to fire into the flanks. They are getting tied down now by hussars, but it does not matter. And there you go. In the end, I think they managed to get a gun. Yeah, you can see a gun carriage that's been got there, so they managed to take that out for the French did. So that's a big blow there to the Portuguese. But yes, we are using the Beresford cores in this one, and we also have a Texera core as well, which is a 4-point. So, but it's a kind of I mean, in my opinion, can be quite a handy 4-point. You can bring quite a few militia, you can spam out the militia if you want to, which is kind of obviously what this scenario asks for. So we've got more more professional troops than they actually did historically. Here are some of those militia troops that we're looking at and mentioning. This is what was mainly defending the city of Porto. And Soult just basically charged, basically straight on in, went in straight into melee, and managed to defeat the civilian army that pretty much was defending Portugal. Apparently, most of the troops were made up all had armed with not even gunpowder weapons. There was mention of pikes as being used by some of the citizenry soldiers, which is insane to think about in this day and age, that someone going about with a pike when they're facing off against an army with cannons and muskets and well-trained cavalry as well. I mean, I guess a pike could do quite well against a dragoon, maybe. But yes, so yeah, in this one, about 10,000 Portuguese are killed to 500 Frenchmen. It's a bit of a massacre, really, when you think about it. It's not really a battle at all. But yes, this is part of the campaign to obviously to take well, one of the various campaigns to try and kick the British and the Portuguese, well, out of Portugal, basically to secure Portugal for the French Empire and continue that sort of continental block, that trade, basically stopping trade throughout all of Europe with Britain. And Portugal was a long-term ally of Britain. It's the longest alliance in history, if you didn't know. Britain and Portugal still going to this day. And yeah, it's so yeah, Portugal was very much siding with Britain and trying to fight France. And yeah, so it should be an interesting one to see. We'll see how this goes down. Obviously, the French win, as we've kind of gone over the facts and figures historically. But will they win here today? We'll see. I mean, I imagine they're going to lose more than 500 troops. You do very well to take less than 500 casualties in an NTW 3 game. And I can't see that happening here today. The Portuguese are set up on a nice little hill over here. It's a very good hill to try and hold on to. It's where the French want to kind of contest for as well. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. As I was mentioning, the Portuguese have 3 Beresford cores and a Texera. We have 1 Soult core because it's an 11-point, though it's not really an 11-point. It's definitely one of the weaker 11 points I've ever seen, that's for ssure. We've got Carabineers over here, which is a Grenadier / a light infantry unit. It's very good, very handy unit. We've got them, and then we have 3 Mortier corps as well, to try and balance out the numbers, to try and make it as fair as possible, because well, we try to make them as historically accurate as possible, the right generals and armies there. We also try to make it balanced. So Mortier, though he wasn't present in the Battle of Porto, his 6 points, 3 of his 6 points balance out quite nicely for points. I think the French still have a slight point advantage because they do have to assault, and the Portuguese have to defend. So defenders always get a slight disadvantage when it comes to points. Usually how it goes. Look like there's going to be a dash there from the French cav on the left. Then change the minds. Lots of chasseurs in this one. There's not a lot of heavy cav. The heaviest you're going to see is a dragoon for the French, and similarly for the Portuguese, really sort of like a light dragoon or a chevalier is probably the most you're going to see. Got the caçadores here, the Portuguese, in their brown uniforms, looking very nice. And look at the skirmishers as well, firing. We cannot see at the moment, but they are firing from there. And yeah, I mean, the main objective for the French and also the Portuguese is to take the city of Porto, which is over here, right at the back. It's in this map, in this case, it's Coruña, but we are using yeah, Coruña works quite nicely as a port, well, as Porto. So the maximum amount of troops that the Portuguese can fall back to there, which is why they're fighting outside. You might be thinking, why don't they just defend there to start with? They could only have, I think it was about 6 infantry units inside there, or like units as including like artillery as well, and then they could bring their generals back as well if they wanted to. But yeah, so that's why they have to defend out here first, and that's historically also where they fought first, outside the walls, and then were pushed back inside, where they then fought as well. And were beaten by the Portuguese. But will they be today? Will they be today? The 17th E Leguer Province. Got some good shooting units as this Mortier Corps, to be fair. I'll give it that. It's not too bad on that front. Yeah, they're slowly chipping away there. It looks like the Portuguese are going to invest in this sort of point here, this armory, which is sort of right in the middle of their line. So that could be quite key for the French to try and assault and take, or just blow up. There's also an option as well. They can just blow it up and then just kind of carry on down the road. They don't have to take this. It's not a key LOC they have to hold. No real LOC they have to have. They just have to be in control of the city of Coruña at the end of the game. The artillery here in a pretty good position, you know, commanding a lot of the open ground ahead of it. Got stakes set up as well, so no one's going to be getting through there. There's some silent cannon, which is glorious, as always, to hear. Good to hear the boom of the cannon. And someone's general's under attack. Oh, here we go. The big push is already going in. French are moving forward. We've got Mortier going in. He's sending in Leguer first. Interesting move. Definitely don't really want to be sending these guys into a melee fight, but they're going to be going in, and they're redlining. Look at that, and here goes Portugal. He's gone through a gap in his line. He's kind of pulling through his own troops, but he's going through a gap in the line now. He's been repulsed, there you go, by the Leguer Sar. They could have formed square, I guess, but maybe they were in the motions of just marching forward. I think they're going to try and get a volley up. They're getting shot in the back, actually. Need to be careful of that. You can see here Soult blasting his own troops. And in goes Soult. He's going right down the line. I think Mortier here would rather just sort of get out of the way and just blast, because yeah, these units are getting absolutely just focused. The SAR, 21st SAR are going to go in, as are plenty more of these line infantry. Going in against the Leal Lusitano Legion, I think it is, this unit in green. Lusitanian Light Legion. Battling away here. We've got plenty of troops behind, ready to support. Portugal isn't necessarily known for its melee, certainly not these militia. And again, I wouldn't say that these Leguer are exactly cut out for it either. We'll see what they can get done. The Portuguese are blasting in the face of a Leguer unit there, getting rid of that. That's just a pretty reasonable unit as well, to be honest. In go more militia. They look like more militia. We've got Cavalry in as well. Looks like they're breaking through some of the Portuguese lines here. We've got more infantry going in. I haven't seen the Grenadier go in yet. The French are getting absolutely just blasted as they go in. Jeez. As long as they didn't get filmed. That was kind of okay. I feel like they kind of just charged in and they volleyed as they charged in. They were to fire now, that'd be pretty gruesome, and yeah, there you go, that one's broken. I think that was fair. We've got infantry here falling back, Mortier having to send in more. French line is kind of fumbling here. We've got more and more infantry forming up. They're just having a line fight along here. This looks like loads of line infantry being set up. They're dueling with the Portuguese here. Don't know if they would necessarily win this. This Beresford Corps is technically trained under the British Army at this point. So you could argue the Portuguese Army was not yet at the standards it was that had been represented here. As we know, this army is pretty much made up of peasants and conscripts. And citizen soldiers. They're meleeing still just trying to break on through. Yeah, I haven't seen any. They've got the Swiss in there. I think they're pretty decent in melee. Grenadiers over here going in. They're going back in where another unit already had failed. They're going to try and charge in there. Not bad. Big Grenadier unit as well. 148-man unit. Keep going in, boys. Keep poking away. But yes, if you're a fan of the NTW3 action and want to see more, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. It really does help out the channel as we work towards 12k subs. And do hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss out on any NTW3 action. Cav is now going in. Mortier, he's sitting in his chasseurs here trying to break through. I was like, we're not really breaking through with the infantry. We need Cav support in there. We need some cavalry. So I sent in a little chasseur, trying to get around the flanks of the Portuguese here. Kind of achieving that. Also have kind of clash with the Portuguese Cav here. We are slowly breaking through. Chasseurs, oh no, that's Chasseurs Cheval. Got Sappers Miners, that's what it is. Technically they are Grenadier unit, the Sappers. We've got Grenadiers Swiss coming forward, and more Grenadiers. So yeah, they're now pushing forward the Grenadiers and sending those in. Is Soult. In goes more infantry. I think these guys have already just, yeah, been blasted once. Getting fired, like blasted as they go in. Jeez. Can fire now. Kind of marching towards them. Send them in, boys. Send them in. Over on this side over here, the left flank. Just in a bit of a line fight right now. France still trying to challenge this armory. Shouldn't really be going into melee, and it should be just blasting it. It's not a key objective that they need to hold or take. Here we go. France going in. Along the line. Portugal's holding its own, you know, still routing quite a lot of French units. Laguerre is getting broken. Looks like, I mean, the Grenadiers are about to go in there. The next line really being sent in. The Swiss being sent in. Oh my gosh! I don't know if that was necessarily a firm. It was again, it seemed like a last-minute volley. You guys can be the judge of that. They're going in. This must be confusing for the Portuguese fighting men in red coats. They probably think that the red coats are their allies. They're not. Not these men. Looks like, what's it in there? Dragoons of the Royal, the Guard Capet. They charge into a square down there, Casadore. They're not going to get through that. The Sappers Miners are going to get rear charged by Carabineers here. We've got more cavalry down here. Mortier's chasseur still down here. In goes more Cav. Looks like he's challenging with Soult's Dragoons over here as well. They're just going to, yeah, keep fighting in that mix. Spain, I don't know where that came from. France is slowly getting its way through. There's the routing Portuguese units. They just got to, this is looking like it's the most likely to break. And as you can see, yeah, it's being achieved. Dragoons are going to be able to wrap around. They just need to keep going in. There's a general all the way over here. This is Beresford in his red uniform. Then we've got, this is Texera here. Insane. I mean, look on the map. There's so many routing units on the side here. Insane amount already. French has been relentless sending stuff in, trying to break through. Still, the French are assaulting in this town as well, trying to get through. Seems foolish, to be honest. They shouldn't be bothering. I mean, they're getting shot in the flank and also front on here. Like, what are you achieving with your Legere standing here? Not a lot. Not a lot. Got some line infantry here, just dueling with the French. Looks like they're winning that. Sorry, with the Portuguese. They're winning that, yeah. The French, not bad, but yeah, there you go. France is through. They've come down this right-hand side here by the coast. They've gone all the way through. Supported by Dragoons. The Schomburg Dragoons. There you go, routed the Portuguese. They can continue on. There's a few squares holding on. Looks like they're being dealt with by Grenadiers of the line, but these Grenadiers are pretty thinned out now. I mean, out of 148, 56 remains. Insane. And the Grenadiers here as well, 63 of them left. Still got some decent, healthy line infantry actually, 117, 117. Yeah, got some good lines still going. The French, the Jura, they're going to be able to rear charge the backs of these Portuguese here, do some damage to them. It's a little bit laggy. I don't know really why. I haven't really changed anything. The scale of the battle is not that massive. But hopefully it should sort itself out. Again, still assaulting this town. Again, another very healthy infantry. Well, relatively healthy. Like, it was a 90-plus man unit here. It's going to rout. Charging in. So we were like, you need to stop doing that. And we're about to set up our guns here. We've got some 8-pounders. Gonna swing those into place and start blasting that building. That's the only way we're going to be able to take that, really. You can see a lot of French still routing. This is concerning. Soult has been bloodied and heavily bloodied. There you go, Portuguese again are scared off with a combination of the infantry and cavalry. Doing a very good job. French over here, yeah, I think they're just making sure that a lot of these units stay gone forever and ever, to be honest. There is a Portuguese cav here that's guarding gens. I don't think they'll commit it. Unlikely. There are artillery as well here, actually. They want to try and get all of this back, try and hold on to things like generals and artillery. They're going to be useful late game. So they're kind of like hiding behind the hill now. They're not going to be getting great shots. The French definitely, if they were to take the top of that hill, they're going to have the advantage, blasting down into them. Artillery battery here, big one that maybe the French want to look at trying to take out. There is a chasseur here that maybe could go for it. Still another little cav unit defending it though. But yeah, the artillery is blasting into the mortier units that are trying to support over here in the town assault. Yeah, the two mortier corps here, kind of just, you know, in a long line game. Kind of works, sort of, for them. Certainly their Legere won't mind this. They'll be winning. We've got some Trilliers over here. They look like they're going to maybe start chipping away at artillery. That's usually what skirmishes end up doing. Just shooting artillery crews. Portugal showing it's still powerful. Still taking out a few of these mortier infantry units. Like I said, this is Portugal that's been trained by the British under Beresford. Not the Portuguese army really of 1809. It's more like the Portuguese army of, well, I think this is the 1809 Beresford that we're using. So maybe it is. It was just later 1809, I guess, when the British have come in and started to train them up, rather than the early periods of 1809. Yes, if we gave them four armies of Texera, like the 4-point, wouldn't be very much of a good game. Though we could, I guess, just do all mortiers, but then that kind of defeats point. It's supposed to be Soult that leads the charge. But there you go. In go the French cav, challenging this little Portuguese one here that was going for the guns. There you go. In goes the French cav there. It might rout this Portuguese unit. Oh, maybe not. Are the Portuguese going to rout the French? Maybe, actually. There you go. And the French try to get out of there, fail. More guns, though, being said. We've got, yeah, a lot of guns here. 2 units of 8-pounders. And there is another cav unit here just sniffing about. And actually another Portuguese one. Whether this has come from the other flank or whether this is... I don't think this is return. This honestly looks like it's healthy. So, yeah, Portugal actually might have cavalry superiority, potentially. There's a couple of dragoons there at the moment. And another dragoon actually being shifted back across the other side. So also, it's possible they have cav superiority. The French cav is pretty bad at this point. And the Portuguese army that's sort of in front of the French right now is still very much intact as well. I mean, the French could still definitely cause some damage, cause a hammer blow. Their infantry is definitely better in melee. Just their unit size is not massive now. We have lost a lot fighting for the area that we fought over. And I mean, look at the bodies. There's a lot of bodies down there. We'll get rid of the map for a moment. So you can just so we'll get rid of the map so you can see a bit more. There you go. Look at that. Just a lot. Especially in this area over here. Jeez. A lot of dead Portuguese and French there. And Swiss. Fair amount of Swiss in there as well. But there you go. So we were like, yeah, this is going to be brutal. We're going to need it. We were asking the left flank over here, you're going to have to do a little bit more. And they were still not complaining, but mentioning that they hadn't got through this building. It's like, well, you don't need to take it. You shouldn't be sending men in. They've lost at least a good 3 or 4 units going into this building. And I was like, why are you trying to take it? Yes, you're French. Yeah, you're pretty good at melee. Are they sending in another one? Looks like it. Chauvel might be going in, looks like. Francois Pierre Chauvel. Looks like he's been given the job next, maybe. But yeah, he's like, you don't need to take it. Just batter it down. So in a moment, I'm going to start wheeling up. Yeah, here we go. It looks like these 8-pounders finally in position, and they're going to get given the all clear to start blasting that armory. I think this is when we were like, yeah, stop doing that. That's just ridiculous. You shouldn't be shooting that, trying to take that building by force. Just shoot it down. Especially in these scenario games where LOCs, unless it's like designated as one, they're not LOCs. You just blow them up. If an enemy unit's in there, an enemy unit's in there. See, I mean, this is a bit of an isolated Portuguese forces here, where it's just forgotten to be falling back. Lots of light infantry here, all the Caçadores in their brown uniforms, their green plumes. Yeah, they now fall back. Yeah, Portugal, falling back, giving a lot of ground. I mean, whether the French can just go and get some of this artillery that's just been kind of like left open. There's one there, there's a couple more over here. And there you go, it's at 13% is the building. It's finally being shot at. Yep, France still struggling. I mean, I don't know why they're just staying around the building. Just avoid it. Just go over here. Just let someone else deal with it. It actually looks like they've turned their guns as well on the building. If anything, yeah, just clear out from there. Watch for friendly fire as well. Don't march across your own gun's line of fire, which French is sort of doing. I'd fall back, boys. Fall back a bit quicker. The Frenchies are loading up. Fire when ready. Oh, it's a little bit laggy. I do apologize. Don't know why. There you go. Oh, I think they were okay. They got out of the way just in time. But there you go. Yeah, they're blasting that building down. And there you go. Looks like some cavalry going in. Guard Capet going in. They're going to get that gun. Are they going to get these skirms as well? They might do. Might get that skirm there. Orange line in there. They need to be careful. And I was going to say the Portuguese are setting out their cavalry. They've seen an opportunity. They think the French have overcommitted. And they're going in. They're going to deal with that French cav. And that's a pretty good French dragoon, actually. That's been lost there now. That guard Capet is pretty good. The howitzer is going off the background. I think the French bring one. It's an Obusier back here. Very nice, very nice. We got some more grenadiers of the line that return back here. It's just a 61-man unit. Might need those boys, you know. 61 angry grenadiers to try and storm the defenses of Porto. They are going to be needed. Yeah, here we go. The French are now kind of moving forward. I think the Portuguese here have kind of just fallen back. Again, this Portuguese army in front of these two Mortier corps. Falling back in relatively decent condition. Unlike on the right flank, where the Portuguese face a full-on French assault, which makes more sense, where Soult with the 11 point was. They were going to make the assault there. These two Mortier corps don't really have the manpower or the hitting power to try and really make an assault. They're actually outpointed here, facing two 8s. At least as far as I'm aware, they're facing 2. They might be 1.5. They might have shifted more troops towards the right with the full D4 point. But yeah, they can't really push on hard. So the Portuguese again on this flank here, falling back in relatively good order. You can see, yeah, just falling back. They don't mind. They don't mind getting shot at in the rear if they try and retreat. Not the end of the world to them. But yeah, the Portuguese army in relatively decent condition. The French army's not, you know, too badly knocked. They've still got their one of their big things is going to be their artillery. They've got a lot of artillery of the French. A lot of 8-pounders I've seen being brought by the French in this game, and that honestly could make all the difference. You know, just sitting back, just bombarding the Portuguese where needed. French have managed to catch a few Portuguese units here, and they've routed that one. This is the other thing as well. Going into melee, the French, 9 times out of 10, you think you're going to win most of these melees. They actually are trying to storm this artillery. Are they going to get the artillery piece out of the Laguerre? Maybe. They could do with a light cav or something here. They're really they're pushing so far forward. Like, look, they've got Portuguese infantry to the left, Portuguese infantry to the right. Laguerre here is just, yeah, I mean, it's so deep in enemy lines, though, it can't stop. We try and melee, I guess. I think it's going to try and get the gun. Gun, I don't think will stop, though. No, they're going to get it, I think. They're going to get it. It's redlining as the infantry. What a chase. What a chase from the infantry here. Yeah, they're going to get that. I don't think they'll run it down like they do the same as cavalry, but yeah, they're going to get the crew. Yeah, there you go, routed crew. That's a big win there, you know, even though they're going to probably get taken out. I mean, if they could form square now, the cavalry coming in, that would, again, be a great way to repel them. And to, like, get a great coup there. Yeah, I think the square's been formed. Form square, start blasting that cav. Portugal still has loads of cav. These are 2 big cav formations. I think this is the only cav units left. This is why they're over here. Chasseur Cheval trying to get into the back again. They are taking out artillery crews as well. And there you go. The light cav of Portugal going in. That's destroying the light cav of France, getting rid of those chasseurs. But with the infantry and cavalry kind of being distracted in some places, France is able to kind of steal a bit of a march. And they're moving forward with their Laguerre. Here comes more chasseurs going in. Evidently, these Portuguese couldn't form square or chose not to. They're redlining. And they're gone. And we've got Trilliers as well here, side-shotting. And France is kind of through here, actually, with that Laguerre and that cavalry leading the spearhead on that left flank there very nicely. Right flank, a lot more passive now. Both sides just playing, well, the French playing certainly very passive. They need to bring up their guns and just get them on top of this hill. Start blasting the Portuguese. They stand their ground around about here by the, I guess it'd be like the River Ebro or the Douro. It goes like by Porto. It's one of those, I'm pretty sure, isn't it? I think. Is the one of those ones? Pretty big river, I'm pretty sure, near Porto. Or maybe I'm chatting rubbish. But the French cav still sniffing about here. That Chasseur Cheval looks like it's going to try and challenge the final Portuguese cav. Nope. I was going to say it's probably wise to just get out of there. Or if you're going to do anything, just try and take out these other isolated Portuguese units. I mean, I would be shifting around the other Chasseur Cheval right now, operating with both where you can. Squares form though. There you go. That might just save Portuguese infantry here, but the French infantry might just then descend on them with musket and bayonet. Yeah, France, you know, making steady progress, I'd say. They've had their first initial bit of excitement right at the beginning, and now they're just isolating Portuguese units and rounding them bit by bit, as you can see there. That one stayed in square, got shot by the French whilst in square, and now's running home back to Lisbon. Just one brave unit here. I mean, these Portuguese units are pretty big, actually, like these line infantry units. That's a hefty unit. There's redlining. I mean, it's got units routing through it. Now would be the time to blast it as the French, or charge it. 28th Laguerre here, bravely going in, getting shot in the face by more Laguerre. In they go, the French. You need to be careful with the friendly fire now. And they actually green line. Of course, they green line when they go into melee. It's just how it works. How it works. Oh, I love the trumpeter. Oh no, he's dead. No, the trumpeter dies. I was going to say in his lovely green uniform he's fighting, but he's dead. So his lovely green uniform is now probably covered in his blood. But there you go. They've routed that isolated unit. And that's that sort of very, very isolated left flank of the Portuguese. The right flank of the Portuguese gone. But yeah, here we go. France has pushed across over here again, managing to catch the Portuguese. We kind of did miss it. The French just went straight on in, to be honest. They tried to go, went for the gun, got the gun. Now we're just rushing for all these infantry units here. You can see they're trying to retreat back to the suburbs of Porto now. They are falling back quite a lot. We're just trying to push up, but need to get the Cav in here. Cav is going to be the quickest way to get these units caught, stop them from rejoining the main army. Because the new line is going to be formed around about here, as you can see where the Portuguese are. It's going to be sort of around this area, probably towards the coast again. Again, Dragoons going in. Just a little academy, maybe getting finned a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's hard to say. I don't know if the Dragoon was technically in melee with it, but there you go. They've routed that infantry, and they should get the other one here as well. There you go, got that one. Just by touching it. And they rout this infantry as well, and there you go. Soult and this mortier on this side are through once again. The other two mortiers, they've just got to slowly but steadily, yeah, just weaken the Portuguese here. I mean, at the same time, though, because the amount of success Soult is having on that right flank, the Portuguese are then therefore forced to send more troops to the left-hand side. So the right is going to get weaker. Those two mortiers will be able to do something. And yep, these are some of the troops being shifted to the left. These guys are pretty bad. Look at that guy's trousers, actually. That's some wild style you got there. And yellow shoes. Oh, I don't know if I'd want to be an officer in the Portuguese army. And he looks like he's wearing like his underwear outside of his trousers there a little bit. Yeah, it's not the greatest style there from a Portuguese officer, but hey, each to their own. But yeah, now the Portuguese sort of in the element they want to be in. They've got a little bit of a hill advantage. They're also in a good, nice, long line fight. Relatively healthy units as well. While the French are very battered. Certainly, Soult and I think this mortier army over here as well. This army's really suffering. You see they're getting shot and redlining already immediately. I think the Portuguese are down to one artillery battery left. It's this one here. The French can just keep flanking around here. It seems like the Portuguese aren't really able to protect this so easily, or at least they don't seem to have the resources. They are shifting a lot of troops here now, though. As you can see, Caçadora is being sent here. We've got, yeah, 4 units being sent in that direction, which is more than enough. The French don't have that much manpower to really challenge that left. They're really just stretching it out, I think. I do wonder whether that cavalry was going to run through maybe and go through the artillery and go for a charge. It's not going to be much use once it gets to the city. So you probably want to use it before then. Yeah, a lot of Portuguese in the units now over here, and I think that's scared off the French. The French are like, yeah, no, this is not going to happen. Portugal does have a unit returning over here that does not want to be blasting these chasseurs. Need to get them out of there. So much smoke. Look at the smoke clouds. It's insane. I feel like you cover your advance with smoke clouds with people blasting. Okay, here we go. We've got the 34 Le Savoy Carignan. I don't know. Probably butchering that name. They're about to go in, it looks like. They look like 2 units here being formed up. Another 2 behind that. Yeah, all of these are 34. They're going to go straight through the middle. Maybe go for this isolated unit here. Then just try and split their way through. They get cav support as well. That would be quite useful. Looks like they finally dealt with that isolated Portuguese unit as well. Soult, again, also looks like he's stacking up what he has left. Got some grenadiers, some Swiss. Just stacking more grenadiers, Swiss. We've got the carabineers and the sappers. Ready to send them in. We've still got very healthy units in the Jura here. They probably should take the brunt of the force. And again, Portugal's retreating. He's not staying around. I think he's seen that the columns are forming up, and he's like, well, I'll beat you to it, France, and I'm going to retreat. They are redlining here, actually. I think that is because of artillery. That might be the point to go through as well for France. Here, there's just one unit on this very large front, and it's redlining. All they have to do is break this formation that they sort of were forming up, and they probably then capitulate a lot of them. But Portugal beating them to the punch, and they're retreating. And France is slowly following. And they're gonna, yep, slowly keep moving forward. French are technically quicker than most coalition armies, so I think they should be able to catch these Portuguese if it was over a long distance, but maybe not the case. Depends if they have road bonuses, I guess, as well, and Laguerre and over line, stuff like that. Yeah, here we go. It's sort of the last real big push they're gonna have to make here, because Portugal's pretty much by its barricades, and they can't get all these troops inside because they can only have, like I said, 6 infantry units and then their generals. I think that was 6 units, including not including generals. So there's cavalry or artillery if they wanted to, but cavalry maybe not. Artillery could be quite useful inside the city. Here we go. I think we're going to see a cav charge. The 10th chasseurs going in. They're going to try maybe go for that unit there. Maybe. No. And there you go. The cav's gone in over on the other side, actually. There you go. I think they've taken out a Portuguese unit. Very battered and can't form square. Another unit here should be tied down in melee. Shouldn't be firing, but they're getting shot. It doesn't matter being shot by other infantry over there. So the cav, I think, is a better route. Here's the 8th E, but it's slowing down the Portuguese, and it means that infantry is able to come up. We've got a tiny little sappers and miners on the way, but Soult and his carabineers and all the rest of his infantry that he's got left are pushing forward. They're going to try and get close the gap here. Sappers actually are now running, sprinting. They might catch this unit here, and they can start the rot of retreating units. There you go. That one's running. France needs to keep pushing up. Just keep going. Getting right in the face of these Portuguese units. The pinned thing is, like, this unit here, yeah, it just helped like win a couple of melees for the Portuguese, but it's now pinned against the wall, has nowhere to retreat. So once the French get in a melee with it, it's going to have to fight and die there, or fight and win. And no choice in the matter. Here we go, chasseurs going in. They're going to go into, again, more infantry. Again, I think they're just doing the same strategies they were on the right flank, just slowing stuff down. Slowing things down. I mean, that one's not even affected by it. The one behind's affected by it. They're like, oh no, my gosh, cavalry near us. French like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're just giving you a friendly love tap. French, though, actually, yeah, they've lost multiple units. I mean, it's just the tiny little units of saps and carabineers. In go the grenadiers of the Swiss. Yeah, they're fighting on hard, doing their bit. There you go, French light cav routed, but they might have done their job. You know, they've helped rout a couple of Portuguese units, slowly wearing them out. I mean, looking at the numbers though, there's not a lot of Frenchies left. Oh, I thought France was going to go in there with his Chasseur Cheval. He's not. He is. Oh, he is now. They didn't form square, I guess. So maybe he thought, oh, they're not going to be able to form square. Caçadores are now trying to get out of that melee. Orange lining and it's a little unsettled, but not, you know, might be able to rout that cav unit. It's only a small unit. Here we go, Mortier setting in the 34th E. Yeah, the cabs just fell back. Yeah, the 34th E going in. We're trying to catch him. Oh, I didn't even realize he had like a purple officer or drummer boy. That's quite funny. At least he has a sword as well. I feel like some drummer boys don't even have get given that. They just go into battle. Yeah, they're going in. They've actually managed to catch their units as well. So that's a big win. I feel like if the Portuguese just stood their ground, they probably would have blasted that unit and sent it packing. Yeah, it looks like, you know, they're actually winning a few of these line fights, the French. But the play here for the French is surely come up this side here, kind of use it for cover and then melee into the side of these Portuguese infantry. That would be what I would say is the play. Just kind of get your troops up here, then just march straight up and then into the side. And at the same time, you have other French units just kind of pin down the Portuguese in a gunfight. There you go, falling back once again. Now the French having no luck breaking through. I thought they were maybe going to get that unit, but they didn't. The centre, though, looking really bad for the Portuguese, actually. They've got a lot of troops here that are being routed by the French centre. And all of a sudden, yeah, look at that. I mean, there's a lot of these who already routed once and a long time ago. But yeah, the centre's looking pretty good for the French. They just need to pour troops in there, stop before the Portuguese can patch up the gap, or get troops back to Porto, really. Already looks like they are preparing to do that. They're already thinking the worst is ahead. And they're now pulling back Caçadores. We've now got generals in here. We've got an infantry in here. So yeah, they're already preparing for a last stand. France tried his assault with the grenadiers. He's now going to send in the dragoons. Squares are formed. They're repulsed. And again, the centre's looking like it's where it's going to happen. French here managed to get themselves into a couple of melees, a couple of replays they got themselves into. They got themselves into more than a couple. The main flipping character. There you go. Routed though. France, yeah, still having no real joy breaking through just yet. Soult and Mortier on this flank here are all in on the squares. They're forming square, which does give them a little bit of a morale boost. But there you go, one's gone. That should be enough to cause the rest of the Portuguese to start to go, I would have thought. Swiss here in their red coats might rout this one here. It looks like the Cavs coming back out of the town. So it's going to rout the Chasseur Cheval here. It's trying to go for this general. And they might get it, you know, he's redlining this Chasseur Cheval here, unfazed. Well, it's now phased. Down at 15 men left. Still haven't routed that general. Impressive. There you go. Well done to the Portuguese cavalry. Portuguese line still kind of holds strong, you know. I mean, it's slowly getting tighter and tighter, and they're holding a good shape, to be honest. So they could maybe get through here. Ah, yeah, this is starting to look pretty bad, actually. I think it's just cavalry holding the line here. Squares being formed where they need to be formed. They're shooting the flanks, and there you go, they're out of that. And actually now the Portuguese army can be cut off just here if the French want to go up that road. It's, yeah, they're GG, and they can just tie everything else outside the settlement. I think so far they've got, it's like 1, 2, 3 infantry units back, a gun, and all the generals, which well, most of the generals. I think they're able to get a couple more units in then, to be law-abiding. Grenadiers here, still twirling away, fighting with their bayonets. Portuguese, they're trying to side shot, they're trying to win as many melees as they can. The Swiss go in, they try to win that, try to pin these guys down, they end up routing. We've got Soult going in. I think Soult's now pretty much out of troops as it is anyway. It's now just down to the mortiers. The Soult, I think, is going to get sent in and try and get some kills. And these guys are redlining. You never know. Soult might just rout them. In goes more infantry here, trying to, again, just trying to break some of these Portuguese guys. We're out of that one immediately. That was very nice from there by the Laguerre. Fall into the next one. Horse artillery being wheeled up. I mean, I think they're going to have to bring their artillery right to the entrance over here and just start blasting any Portuguese units that just stand in the way. That would be, I think, all they can do. The French, I think, are in too bad a condition that they can't. They can take the city. Well, we'll see. You need to be careful. They've got their guns here. It's a Portuguese unit running straight up to try and deal with it. I think they are going to unlimber yet. Smart. See if they can get a canister volley off, maybe. Got artillery firing all the way back here as well. Still shelling into these Portuguese, redlining them. Oh, and there you go. Laguerre running in as well. The 17th Laguerre just going to just stop that gun from being taken out. Easy peasy. And with that one routing, it's causing all the other units around it to rout as well. And that, I think, is the pretty much the field battle over and done with. It's now onto the siege battle, I guess, of sorts. The assault. It's not a large scale thing. It's just a small scale thing, but still needs doing. I'm gonna basically, I'll make a quick cut because the French for quite a while set up their guns, get them right in the face of the Portuguese, and nothing really happens for a little while. So I'll make a cut, and I'll see you guys in a moment when the French make their move. So we are back. So it's pretty much all you missed. It's just, yeah, the French setting up their artillery. Don't even think they're really ready to go in yet, but I'm just showing you kind of what was kind of happening. So yeah, the artillery is being set up here, and then the Portuguese were basically bringing their infantry around, firing a volley, and then trying to hide their infantry before he got blasted in the face by French artillery. So yeah, I think they're about to fire again. I think they're firing canister at the French, and there you go, yeah, blasting. Actually getting a pretty good hit there onto the Portuguese. Unfazed though. Definitely could have done with killing a couple of generals to help, you know, lower morale before this final assault. Because yeah, they got some decent units in there as well. Because the Castadores, they've not even got in just like any old infantry. They've got in the light infantry. The guys are probably the best training, certainly the best at reloading and firing. So yeah, that's gonna be a real pain. We've got a couple of generals as well scattered around back here. I think they got quite a few of them in the buildings. So if we were to destroy the building, actually, it's 18% damage, which I think is what the howitzer is doing out there. We could just kill a bunch of generals by just destroying the building. It's not the LOC. They don't have to take that. They just have to take the town itself. Yeah, they are canistering still, trying to hit some guys over here, but having no real joy at the moment. Don't know why we've got silent muskets, because we should actually have. They should be on. There you go. Looks like Castadores maybe moving forward. Although they're maybe going to rush for it, but I don't think they are. Volley here from the French gun. Oh, that's a nice one actually. Again, getting about 4 or 5 guys. Not enough though to make the unit go to the orange morale. They are all pretty much in similar sort of like health and strength. The units are only about 80, 90 man originally, so yeah. These are pretty healthy Caçadora units. I think there's, yeah, about 3 or 4 of them in here. So blasting away. And here we go. The French are now moving. In goes Mortier and his 34th. These boys have already done so much to get the French to this point. But it's a super close game. The Portuguese don't have a lot left. The French, as you can see, don't have a lot left either. They've been relentlessly charging. And yeah, the Portuguese have set up a pretty good death trap here to try and storm. You can see they're going to fire here. I mean, the French just got to charge in all directions. They can't blob. Maybe because it's a rule break, but also it's just going to affect morale. They've got to split up as quickly as possible so they didn't become as big a target. But yeah, the first couple of units as they go in, they're just going to get absolutely blasted. They need to just keep going. There you go. They set up. But you need to keep charging. Get into those guns. Standing like this is not going to achieve a lot. They need to try and take out those guns. They're going to be a big problem for morale. What else do we have in here? Oh, we do have some just regular infantry as well. There you go. That's one gun already. You can see the Portuguese setting up between the lines. That's going to cause all sorts of problems, like in between the buildings, and they're getting good side shots. Routing French. With one unit routing, it just causes the next to rout so quickly. Got Laguerre going in here. They might get this one. It's orange lining. Oh no, it rallied. I think they just popped a morale boost on it. You can see the Portuguese, they're trying not to be too aggressive. They don't want to be too aggressive. Still routing plenty of troops in here though. Gazan getting good side shots. There needs to be something that charged into this unit now because they just absolutely obliterate. Look at that. Obliterated that French force there. Need to charge into this unit here. Just take it out. There you go. Orange lining. It's a pretty weak unit. Caçadores. Didn't get his redlining breaks. There you go. The Portuguese are through. Sorry, the French are through on that unit. You need to get to the guns, really. You need to take those artillery pieces out. This infantry unit is also pretty low. If they could manage to get that into melee. It's just such a long way to travel. You might not think, oh, it's not that far, Pope, but it is. At this stage of the game, that's a long way for these beaten and battered units to try and travel. And not take a lot of casualties on a volley, but also just withstand the morale. And look at that. That's pretty much a GG. At that point, look at the mass amount of French routing here. It's insane. Still a few units going in, bravely charging in, but they're not going to be able to take the town. I don't think the Portuguese got it under lock and key. Got Trilliers in here. That's how silly it's got. They're actually going in to fight a general. If they would kill Beresford, that would be so funny. And typical at this point at the stage of the game. Just like, oh yeah, the French are like they're getting in, but they're not gonna get far. That's for sure. Got generals being sent in now. Yeah, several Mortiers. Seeing their army break, they're like, ah, screw it. There you go, being blasted there. There you go, the French are being sent packing. And that is pretty much going to be GG. So I'm going to make a quick cut until we get to the end results. You might think, oh, there's quite a lot left, Pope, but it is just generals and artillery pieces. All it is now is just a standoff until you basically get to the draw screen. I think the general's going to go in and die. And that is pretty much it. And yeah, the Portuguese are going to hold on. They did it just about enough. There was supposedly some filming over here, and like especially over here as well. It's kind of hard to tell in this replay if they were filming or not. I think there's just a lot of volleys like a last minute, but honestly I'm not going to like weigh on it. It's been and done now. But yeah, we took some pretty heavy casualties where we didn't need to, especially at this town, at this building here. Didn't need to lose so many French fighting over that building. But yeah, there'll be a few mistakes that we'd look back on and maybe think, how could we have done that better? But and I think we should have softened up the Portuguese a little bit before we sent it in Soult's corps. But that's just me. It's just my personal opinion. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in a moment with the end results. So there you go. We have the end results on the screen now for you. This, I think from my perspective, this one it was one of the battles we did on the stream a little while ago, and I thought it was a pretty good one. It's a pretty close one. Portugal, like I said, down about 6 units. Through rules, but also the French did just kind of eventually blitz through them. They did a pretty good job. But they just did not have enough in the end. Those 6 pointers just don't really have enough manpower. But I think if we gave them too much more, I think the French would have steamrolled the poor Portuguese. as well. So I think balanced really, really nicely. That's for sure. But yeah, you can have a look at all the results on your screen now. Hopefully, maybe if you were playing, you can be reminded of past glories, or maybe don't want to remember how well or how poorly you did. But we'll have a quick look at some of the unit stats. I mean, 250 kills really for this Chevalier. I think this was the one that I sent in right at the beginning of the game and saw support in the initial push. Then we got the Jure here, 117 kills, 99 with the Leguesa, 99 with the Jure again. My 8-pounder is getting 83 kills. Never a good sign. So your artillery high up the list, but there you go. And there are the rest of the kills. You want to look at those. I was playing as one of the Mortier corps, so as a 6-point, there's only so much you can do. I was trying to help. I was playing on the right flank, so I was trying to support Soult, trying to push through and break through. But yeah, we couldn't just quite manage it in the end on that final last hurdle. We just had lost far too many men. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this NTW3 battle. If you did, I want to see more. Do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. And do check out some of the videos appearing on your screen now. There's some good ones there, some glorious historical battles to check out as well on the Napoleonic Wars playlist. There's a whole load there, a good 150 now, I would say. But yeah, until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.